How's it going?
Fantastic. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. It's good to be here with you again. I am still just rolling, man, from the last weekend. My heart is overflowing. Um, it's been a pretty amazing uh integration since that weekend. Receiving so much love and all the messages, dude, and just being able to reflect on everyone's experience and just feeling into my experience and laying my head down at night and just my mind and my body just kind of going through all of the amazing things um, that I experienced last weekend. And so I'm still, yeah, man, feeling really good. My heart's overflowing. It's been affecting the world around me in a beautiful way, and just excited to share it with you and talk about it with you, seeing as though we're both there together.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, the messages kind of keep it coming back. I mean that group chat is putting on. It is everybody's participating, and just every time you get a message from that, I love opening up the chat and reading, and some super cool messages, and yeah, so much love, and you can feel it when you go through the messages. This is the first trip, I think, in a while for me that there's almost been no feelings of, like sadness or kind of depression that it's over. It's more so just giving me life and giving the people that were there, and especially like my brother and sister who I am very close with and communicate with often, is just to see their reaction to it, and to for me to hear that they feel kind of the same way, um, is really special.
Yeah, agreed, man. I think that says a lot about the event. Also says, I think that says a lot about the individual as well. I say that because I feel, I relate it to my experiences, and I found like in my experiences, it's like this, you have this experience that is like a peak experience, right? It's unbelievably beautiful. So many things being released within your body, both like trauma being released, but also amazing chemicals being released within your body. You're just so in love and so in gratitude and so in awe and creativity and all these beautiful things, man. It can be very overwhelming to like when you come back, then it's like, oh, like take me back there. Like, what is this? But I think for myself, knowing that my life is so fulfilling and I'm so much more comfortable within myself, I still have those peak experiences and they're still just as overwhelming and profound, but it's kind of like an excitement to like then bring that here to the rest of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than like needing to go back there in order to feel it. It's like, no, man, I can keep going.
Mhm. Yeah, it's inside of
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, um, and so just to kind of, I guess, start from the beginning and kind of share with people like what we're talking about and what's going on, right? And what's happening. But pretty much about a year and a half ago, my friend Ramez and we spent some time together in Dallas, where he's from, and there was a party that we went to, and the party got shut down early. Someone took some substances that didn't agree with them, or took too many, and before we knew it, ambulance was there, so on and so forth, right? And so we left that party. We went back to his house, and it was me, him, Kat, and our other friend Tyler. And we're just talking, having a great time, reminiscing and stuff like that. And then Kat and Tyler went to bed, and it was just me and Ramez. And he started DJing, and he mixed two songs, one each from our favorite two DJs in the world, right? Stan Kolev and Brian Sid, right? And as he was mixing them, I just had this beautiful download. I had this beautiful feeling, and I started expressing it to him. And I was like, "Look, man, like I'm kind of sick of this shit. Like I'm done going to places that do not come from the intention and do not create the space that I know I desire." And we just started like going deep together on like, all right, what is that space? What is that space about? What is the intention behind that space? So on and so forth, right? And little did we know that we were creating the framework for what would be last weekend for that event that we put together in Miami, right? And so some of the things that came up, I found myself expressing and feeling deeply into the fact that I wanted to create a safe container, right? Safe container for everyone. But my goal was really to create a safe container for women. I think that if you're able to create a space where all women feel completely comfortable and seen and heard, and they can just be themselves, and I think you've done pretty well, dude. And so that was first and foremost. Now, in order to create that, a few things came to mind. It's like, all right, well, the physical environment that we're in is really important, right? The people that are there are also very important,
Mhm.
right? The offerings that are there are also very important. All of these things have to create a safe, but also challenging container, right? Safe and challenging at the same time, meaning that I wanted it to give us plenty of chances to surrender, to let go, to ask questions that allowed us to let go of things and surrender, right? And so the other thing that was really important was the music.
Mhm.
So, I've been, holding medicinal ceremonies for a few years now. And, this word medicine, I feel like just gets thrown around now for everything. But I understand it. I get it, man. Like ultimately, when this, word is being used for things, pretty much it's saying like it is helping to heal something inside of you, right? It is good for you, right? We won't get into the fact that there's a lot of medicines that aren't good for you. We'll just think of medicine as that, right? Something that's good for you and helps you, right? Um, and so something I've really experienced in my life is that, dude, music has changed my life in the most amazing ways. It has allowed me to move energy around my body in the most amazing ways. It has allowed me to release things that I've been holding on to that I didn't even know I was holding on to. Um, Man, it does so many things for me. And that was another really important thing for us. And so getting very intentional with who we invite to play music for us. And the people that we invited, we know very well. And we know what their process is when it comes to creating their music. These aren't people that are just picking other people's songs. These are people that are creating their own songs, right? And we know their process and how intentional they are and loving they are and caring they are when it comes to that. And so that was another thing that was really important. Um, Another thing that was really important was like following like our our hearts and our intention when it came to allowing other people that we invite to share their gifts. This was super important for us, man. It's like, we know so many beautiful people that, have things that they dedicate a lot of their time and energy to in their life. And we wanted to give them a platform to share that with other people. Right. And so those were like a few of the things. And as we kind of go through the weekend, a lot of other things will kind of show up. So, I mean, before, we kind of go to the first day, is there anything that you want to share or what's come up for you?
No, I just really liked just how the word container was used. Like it's kind of like I wouldn't say the first time I've heard it used in that way, but like just over and over again, like creating a safe container for people to be themselves and express themselves, um, and yeah, I mean, you could just feel the intention behind the event. You could feel everything that went into it, the thoughtfulness that went into it. The careful planning. So yeah, I just thought it was really cool how it came together.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. I'd like to touch on both those things, the container and that. So for me, as one of the people creating it, all right, so it was me, Ramez, and Steven. Steven was on ground getting everything done in Miami. Um, Ramez was pretty much with me, like the creation of it, right? And also really helping out with the finances, Ramez.
Mhm.
But one of the things is like, creating these spaces, it's so easy to get caught up in your mind and stuff like that. And something I really enjoy about myself at this time in my life It's like that shit don't happen, which is really nice for me, dude. The same thing with this podcast. It's like it would be so easy to overthink every episode, everything you say, like, and want to edit it and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing that. I'm not editing anything. Let's just get it out, right? Like, not overthinking stuff and like trusting your heart, trusting your creation, trusting that, like, what you create and what fills your cup will also fill other people's cup and they'll enjoy it. That was a really cool process for me. And so it's really nice, man, to like, to be seen in that way, for you guys to, because every time someone's enjoying a space that we created, it's like they're seeing a part of me, because that is a part of me that I created, right? And so it's really cool to hear that from you and other people. I really enjoy it. And then the container aspect, I think Carter really explained it perfectly. It's like, in order to be truly free, most people require a container.
Yeah.
They require a container that they know within this space, I can just be myself
Mhm.
and nothing's going to happen. Nothing from outside this container can come in. And everyone that's in this container and everything that's in this container, I can completely trust. Wow, this is great. Right. For most people, the complete unknown and infinite possibilities that can happen with no container is too much, and they're not able to completely be themselves. And so I really enjoyed that understanding of a container and how beautiful that is. And it actually promotes freedom, um, especially given the container that we created, right?
Yeah.
Other containers could do the complete opposite,
Mhm.
right? And so I'll just kind of go through every day, and we can just kind of talk about the experiences we had and kind of share it with people. And I want people to really feel into this, dude, like, because you can do this, right? This is what I really want to get across to people in this episode is like, this is me and my friend having a really deep moment and feeling into something really beautiful that we wanted to create, and just creating it. We hadn't been to a place that anyone had ever created something like this. And we've been to many places. And we're like, man, let's just do what we want. Let's just
Mhm.
create the space that we want. And I want to really express to people that you can do the same thing, dude. And whatever like you love, other people love. And so get it out there, man. Create it. Don't wait for it. Don't wait for someone else to try and create what you love. And so day one. So first day, we pretty much rented like a private part of a beach, right? We wanted to have a day event. Another shout out I want to give now that I'm thinking about it as I start talking is the reason we had a day event was because of all the beautiful ladies in our life, right? My wife, Kat, Anissa, Ramez's wife, Lozo, Tyler's wife. Um, they all expressed a desire to not have to be up until 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and party until 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, but have a beautiful day event where they could enjoy the sun and be outside and then go to sleep when it's sleep time. Right. And so we're like, all right, cool. Let's make that a part of this weekend. So we did that. It was a beautiful beach. And we started off with an opening ceremony, which is really important for me. Like I've found that, whenever I'm creating a really intentional space, like setting the space is one of the
Mhm.
most important things that you can do. Again, it adds to the creation of that safe container, really lets people know exactly like what's going on, right? And what the intention is here, and what's going on. So we had an opening ceremony. Always start every opening ceremony by connecting to our hearts, getting everyone coherent, and then just kind of explain to everyone, like what I'm explaining to you right now, where it came from, what the schedule is, all this type of stuff, right? And then had everyone that was offering gifts come up and kind of share what they were doing, what their intention is. And then at the end of the ceremony, we had Tyler do a nice little breath work.
Mhm.
And then I broke people up into groups. So something I think about a lot. So I've done this event, and then, dude, a few weeks ago, I did my first men's retreat, right? So I'm backing up these two events that I've just created, and we can talk a little bit about that too after if you want. But something that I realized was like day one is about connection. Day one is about getting everyone not only feeling connected to the people around them, but feeling connected to themselves through those encounters. And so the first thing we did at the end of the opening ceremony was broke up into groups of 5 and just had people share their name, share where they're from, and then answer the question like, why was it so important for you to be here today? Like, what did you have to go through and why did you make this a priority? And so I'm curious, man, like, what was your experience like when you broke up into those groups?
I thought it was perfect. I mean, you gave specific instructions to not be in a group with anyone you came with or something like people that you're not super familiar with. So yeah, it was a perfect opportunity to connect with people that obviously I knew a couple of them. I might have known their name, but it was really cool to hear, what made them want to be there and make the sacrifices to be there. Um, and yeah, it was just a good, way to get things flowing. Obviously the intro, the feeling into our heart, and then the Tyler's breath work, all kind of broke the ice. So we were all kind of relaxed and it wasn't like tense, and plus you're on the beach. I mean, so it was very easy, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, it really was like the melding of all those things I spoke about, physical space, people that were there, all that stuff, right? And something I realized very quickly, which was super cool as I observe, was just like how comfortable people felt straight away to just start talking to everyone, right? Because like in regards to the people that were there, we didn't just invite anyone, right? I made a list of 20 people. Ramez did the same thing. Diego did the same thing. And Tyler did the same thing. So me and three of my friends made a list of 20 people. We had a lot of the same people, but then we also had other people. And we
Mhm.
said, hey, you can bring one person. Why did we do this? Not everyone is able to inhabit that container. And I think that's really important to understand. That doesn't mean I don't love other people. It doesn't mean I don't want to spend time with other people. It just means that within that container, I want people that are able to inhabit that.
Mhm.
For example, I don't want anyone in there that's going to make anyone feel unsafe or uncomfortable. I don't want anyone in there that is unable to regulate their emotions,
Mhm.
right? I don't want anyone in there that is unable to be fully, like, to be authentic and vulnerable. Like, I want people that are able to inhabit that space. And that doesn't, again, like, mean that in other spaces or in other events, that won't be different. But the way I want to kind of explain it to people and why this was so important is because there's been like throughout my journey, I've continued to create spaces and I've wanted to always include everyone, right? And it came from a really beautiful place. It came from a place of wanting everyone to be included in every space, right?
Mhm.
But something I learned very quickly is that if I have a certain intention and I am in charge of a certain space, then I have a responsibility and I want to uphold that responsibility. For example, right? If I am holding space for a psilocybin ceremony, dude, like there are going to be certain people that are there, and there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to be invited,
Yeah.
right? It's just the
Yeah.
way it is. I'm not going to invite alcohol into that space. There's so many things I'm not going to invite into that space, things and people, right? And we were treating this weekend like a ceremony. That's why alcohol was discouraged. That's why we didn't have alcohol at any of the events. We purposefully bought out the entire warehouse for the second night and bought out the bar and told them what we wanted at the bar. So there was no alcohol at the bar, right? Certain things that we wanted and we're very, very intentional with. And so this was one of them. And you'll hear the fruits of that intention as we kind of talk through this, right? But like to see people so beautifully like open and invested from the get-go to like meeting everyone and just being like social butterflies was so cool, man. It was so cool. And so I remember just having like a really big smile on my face, like from the get-go at just like watching this happen.
Yeah. I mean, it made it easy knowing, when how you introduced it, knowing that you guys, curated that list of people and, we're very intentional with who you brought them. It made it for me very easy to socialize with everyone because it's like, oh, well, if you know this person, like, you know, it's
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, that I mean I've heard that exact explanation from a few people as to why it felt so easy for them. And again, mission accomplished, right? Like so cool. Um, and so then we kind of just went into doing our thing, right? We're on the beach, it's a beautiful day. And so we're just mixing and matching and dancing. And so pretty soon Ramez gets up and Ramez has a 1.5 hour set DJing. And dude, he's such a good DJ, man. He's so
Yeah,
good.
he crushed it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's so good, man. And I just love seeing him up there. I mean, dude, I was talking to him like, dude, he did like over like 11 hours, 15 hours of prep for that one set. Like to him, it's like really important. To him, it really matters. To him, it fills his cup. And so to see him up there as a little, just a little kid, dude, having fun, man, like getting to play the songs he wants and just killing it, bro, was so much fun. I think that adds a lot to, I really do, man. I think everyone knowing everyone and everyone having some type of like connection to everyone, including the DJs. That's another thing that we'll talk about when we get into Stan and Brian for sure. And so Ramez does his thing. Everyone's dancing, having a great time. And Kat, my beautiful partner in life, she had a hell of a day, dude, the day before. First flight was delayed. Second flight, she missed, but she didn't give up, man. I was so proud of her, dude. Like her ability to deal with that situation and just get it fucking done was epic. And so, anyway, ends up getting to Miami that morning and takes a nap. And so she gets there, probably like, I think 3 o'clock or something like that. And I'm so excited to see her, dude. It's been like a couple of weeks since I've seen her, and I'm just so excited to spend time with her and dance with her and have fun. And so, she shows up and they give her a big hug and stuff like that. And then I can just see on her face how kind of like overwhelmed and pumped she is to see all of her favorite people in one place in this paradise, right? And that was one of the highlights for me as well, man. Just watching that happen and spending time with her and then seeing her with all of my friends' wives and my friends' girlfriends and getting like seeing them being able to share that space together, man. It's just like so wholesome and so beautiful. For a long time, Kat was the OG holding it down for most of the girls. Like when me and Ramez and all them would go out, Kat would normally be the only one that would consistently be there. And so I was just so happy for her to have that space now to share with all those other beautiful, strong women. Yeah. I mean, how did it feel for you to have your beautiful wife Roxanne there and to kind of share that space with her?
Oh, dude, it was super special. I mean, especially just being able to meet people and be able to like introduce, Roxanne's here with me, and we just got married, and so just everyone, as soon as we said that, just got so pumped. But yeah, dude, I loved watching Kat arrive. That was definitely one of my highlights, especially of that first day, on the beach there with and getting to meet a lot of wives that I haven't really met or spent a lot of time with. I've met Mel, but I haven't really spent a lot of time with. I think that was my first time meeting Anissa.
Yeah.
So that was really cool, and shared some very cool moments. But yeah, I mean, the safe space for the ladies, I think, was huge.
Yeah, it really was, dude. It was so cool. Um, Something I just remembered as well was like, just before Ramez started playing, we had Carter's movement session. And
Yep.
so Carter Twitty, if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, there's an episode on this podcast with Carter Twitty. You should definitely check it out. It's so cool. Dan was just talking about it. He just watched it. I've actually gotten a lot of people that have messaged me about it, really enjoyed it. But Carter Twitty is one of our friends. He works at the Movement Standard in Dallas. And yeah, he's what I would consider, he wouldn't consider himself a master, and I understand why he says that. But when it comes to the practice of movement, he's very experienced, has a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge. Let's just put it that way. And so he put together a movement practice for everyone. We did this both days before we danced. And it was so much fun, dude. Like putting us into partners and having partners and exploring our bodies and the way they move and what we're able to tell our bodies to do and what we find it hard to tell our bodies to do, and it executes and stuff like that. And so I was just so excited to introduce him to everyone and have everyone go through his practice. I know Ramez was so pumped because Ramez pretty much has been a student of Carter's for a few years now and goes there every week, 3-4 times a week. And so that was fun,
Uh,
dude.
yeah, no, I thought that session was another reason that made it so easy to connect with a lot of people because when you're getting paired up or getting or having a partner, and he also gave specific instructions to like not go with someone you already know, or
Mhm.
and then don't go with the same partner, so you got to connect with somebody new every time, and so yeah, it just made it easier.
It's almost like we wanted the focus to be connection, dude. You know what I mean? It's so cool though, man. It's like these little things that I don't think many people like really like notice, but at the same time they kind of do.
Hmm.
But it's like it's all these things that make such a big difference, right? They make such a big difference. They again, they're doing two things in once, and it's the two things that I always want to create space for. It's connection and letting go. Because okay, you're with this new person, you don't know them, so now you have to let go and trust and have faith. Otherwise, you can't really connect with this person. right?
Yeah.
And so you're faced with that kind of challenge. So it's beautiful, man. I love that. And so, yeah, I love Carter. Thank you, Carter. I know you're listening to this. and and then yeah, Ramez. And then after that, we had Stan, right? So Stan Kolev. If you guys haven't heard of this guy, please start listening. What a beautiful soul, man. So we came across him a couple of years ago. Ramez introduced me to his music, and we started listening, and it's just so good. And so we wanted him to play a set for us and our friends, right? And so we Ramez has this thing that he does, which I really enjoy and I respect, which is like when he invites a DJ, he always invites them to stay with him. And if they say no, then he's just like, okay, no worries, then I guess this isn't for you. But if they say yes, then he's like, all right, awesome, perfect. He wants that connection. He wants that friendship. He wants to understand that person on a much deeper level than just their music. And so Stan was one of those people, and he said yes. And so we got to connect with Stan in Dallas. And that was a beautiful moment. And let me share this with everyone. So Stan was there that night at that event a year and a half ago that got shut down. Stan was supposed to play at that event, but he didn't get to play because it got shut down. Okay. The next night, we all have dinner at Ramez's house and Stan comes over. So this is the next night after that night that me and Ramez have already had that epic experience, right?
Mhm.
And so we're outside after dinner talking, and I'm still like fueling, dude, from that experience, man. My heart is losing it. And so I had to share what I was thinking and feeling with Stan. So I shared everything with him. And then I said, Stan, how often have you played in a space like I just explained? And you have to think about like Stan is in his 50s, I'm pretty sure. And he's been around for a long time. He's one of the pioneers of like progressive house music, right? And so he said 3 times, right? And when he said that, I was like, okay, like another mission, another intention. Like, not only are we doing this for ourselves and our friends, that obviously these beautiful, like, creators, I like to call magicians of music, like, they obviously desire this space so much and they don't get it. Like, they find it hard to find those spaces in order to feel what they want to feel and have a crowd truly get it, right? And so that fueled me even more to create this space, right? And so then Stan gets on the decks at the beach and just starts killing it, doing his thing. And so before I know it, everyone's on the sand, on the dance floor, just getting primal, dude, and going nuts and just having so much fun, man. Everyone's connecting, jumping up and down, high fiving, doing crazy stuff, man, just killing it. Has anything come up for you? Is there anything you want to share from that day that you're like, man, I remember this came up for me? Anything you want to share?
I mean, kind of what we talked about earlier, just how easy it was to connect with everybody. Like, and it didn't matter. Like, you never felt weird about just going up to a person that was there,
Yeah.
and just start talking to them. And then, oh, I just thought it was really well thought out too. How we had like the daytime event, get a good night's rest, and then the second night was the night that everybody goes pretty hard. So I
Yeah.
thought that aspect of it was like really really well thought out and really set everyone up for success. So they're not just struggling on day two.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
um,
And that also reflects on the people, right? Because like you're in Miami, so people can really just, if they want to fuck up and fuck about and just be drained and kill themselves, they could if they wanted to.
oh
So
yeah,
it says a lot about the people that were there, man, to like, really just be so dedicated to the event that we created, right? And how much they, I'm sure, enjoyed it. So that's why they wanted to give so much energy to it and time, right? Um, and so finishing off that first day, Stan gets done. Everyone's just so grateful and just clapping him and bowing to him and just giving him so much respect and love. And one of the things that was really important for me that I put on the schedule, I even put it on the schedule, dude, was like, when we're done with the music, something I don't enjoy is going out, the music stops, and then they're like, all right, dude, get out. And
yeah.
I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? I'm at like a 15 out of 10 right now. Like, what do you mean? Just like leave.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to create an experience for us to like not only connect, but also ground and bring that 15 down to like a 10, maybe an 8, maybe a 7, right? And just kind of bring the energy from up here to into here, right? Into our hearts. And so on the schedule, it said, what did it say, dude? It said like huge hug.
Group hug. Yeah.
Yeah, group hug, right? Massive
Right.
group hug or something, something crazy
Yeah.
like that, right? Massive group hug. And so I got everyone together and I was just like, guys, bring it in. I want a hug from all of you. And so I'm standing in the middle and everyone just starts walking in. And you're talking like 55 people, right? Nearly 60 people. Everyone walks in. And at first they think we're doing a circle. I'm like, no, 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 come closer. And everyone just comes in, dude. And we just do this massive hug. Everyone's just in there, dude. Arms around each other, heads in. I'm like, all right, cool. Breathe in, massive breath all the way in. And then let's hum it out, right? So everyone's like, hmm, just humming, dude. And because it's so many people, it's just vibrating, dude. Like the whole circle is just vibrating. Our whole world is now a vibration, right? And so the event was called Sacred Vibrations. And so I thought, like, as that happened the first like time, I'm just like, wow, how beautiful is that? And so we did three of those. First two were deep breaths and a hum. Last one was a deep breath and an om, right? So a slightly different mouth sound. I knew how much I was going to enjoy that moment. I didn't realize how much everyone was going to enjoy that moment.
Oh yeah.
People were just breaking down, crying. Other people were just like so beautifully happy and ecstatic. I mean, it was just everyone was feeling it, dude. You know what I mean? And was able to really just kind of root into their heart and root into their feet and get grounded again. How was that for you?
Dude, it was awesome. I remember the first time that we did something like that was like one of the New Year's at Kat's mom's place.
Me, you, Tarek,
I think,
Roxy on top of the roof.
yeah. And then we just like matched our hums and
Mm-hmm.
found like the same frequency. And dude, that was sweet. And yeah, maybe something for next time is to like give us like a note to hit or like a something to try to match.
Yeah.
Because I mean it was awesome. Don't get me wrong, like it was insane. But if we all were hitting the same frequency, the same like I think that would be awesome as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I think it put a ribbon on it. Instead of everyone just like music shuts off, everyone kind of like trickles out, like, oh, I'm gonna get my shit, and like it really like, all right, that was awesome, and everyone's just like, all right, I can't wait for the next event, but
Yeah.
it's over and it feels good now.
Yeah, pretty much. It kind of helps with that whole like feeling of like, no, I want more. It's kind of like, actually, I feel complete. Like I
Yeah,
feel,
exactly.
yeah, I feel complete now. I'm good. Right. And so that was day one. We went back to the house and ordered some food and just hung out for the rest of the night and just connected and had beautiful, beautiful moments. And so then the next day, the way it was set up was have the morning to chill, right? Recover, relax, do your thing. And then we had some events. And so we met at a park. And we had pretty much two events that we wanted to accomplish. We had a men's and a women's circle, right? So all the men would be led by one man, and then all the women would be led by one woman. And the reason I wanted to create that was for exactly that reason, to get all the women together, man, to be able to talk about being a woman and to be able to connect with other beautiful, powerful women and find their strength and not feel alone and feel heard and seen and held. And the same thing for the men, the exact same thing for the men. Right. And so it was beautiful to be able to call upon people within the group to lead those spaces, knowing that complete trust and love and epicness was going to happen. And so that was super cool. And so our brother Soleil, that again, I just met through this event. But I mean, I found out that I actually met him in Burning Man a few years ago, but none of us actually remembered that encounter because it wasn't a very deep encounter. It was just kind of like, hey, and then I kept moving. But yeah, he resonated deeply with the message that I sent out. Rumez sent him the message that I wrote, and then he called me the next day and he was all about it and wanted to be involved somehow. And so there he was. I had just come off like 2, 3 weeks ago doing a men's retreat that he also attended. So he attended my men's retreat that I did, and that was such a beautiful space to inhabit with him and the other men that were there. And so I knew exactly who I wanted to be in that space to lead that space, and I felt honored and humbled to be led by him and you and your brother, which was super cool. And I appreciate you guys taking care of that. So everyone listening, like when it came about, I was like, all right, I want other people involved, not just Soleil. I want people to, take more of a leadership role in this space. And so I called Dan and I called Dan's brother and asked them if they wanted to do that. And they said yes. And so I was really excited about that. So I guess that brings me to a question for you, Dan. Two questions. Number one, how was that experience when I called you and asked you to do that? What were you feeling and what were you thinking about? And then question two, how was it to like show up and be a part of it in that way? And also you were a part of it as a participant as well, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, how was that whole experience for you?
Dude, it was incredible. I mean, obviously first when you first called, I kind of had the same sort of feelings as when you first asked me to do the podcast, where it's like, oh, like, like, do I feel worthy enough to, lead this this circle, this men's circle, or help lead the circle? But Soleil, made it super easy. I mean, he sent us a voice note and kind of explained, first of all, just introduced himself and gave us his story, which is pretty insane story. And now this is like what he does is this is what he does for work and for a living. And so hearing that put me at ease. And he kind of took the lead on everything, which was I was very grateful for. And then being a part of it was pretty awesome. I mean, again, the word container comes to mind because he used it also to create this container. And it really, man, it's definitely one of the things that I continue to go back to about the weekend. Definitely one of the things I think I got out the most out of over the weekend is just his way with words and for him to be vulnerable himself and introduce, the exercises was pretty insane to witness, and it allowed us to feel vulnerable and share and yeah, and getting into the smaller groups made it easier to share. And he did the cool exercise where if you've had a similar feeling, you give a couple snaps so you kind of show support without having to say words. So that made it very easy to share. But yeah, I mean, just being able to open up and realize that you're as a man, you're going through a lot of stuff, and there are a lot of men out there that are going through a lot of the same stuff. And so that was awesome. I mean, it was really, really, really cool to be a part of that and to be able to be vulnerable and to kind of take inventory at the same time and get so much support from the group and feel heard and seen and to connect with these guys. And I mean, yeah, that was one of the coolest parts of the weekend, I thought.
Yeah, agreed, man. Agreed. I just had to duck out of the screen there because my computer was about to shut off. And so, yeah, agreed, man. It's like, I think as individuals, whether you're a man or a woman, those spaces, the men's and the women's circle that we created, they're spaces that you don't realize you really want until you're in it,
Mm.
right? And I think there's a part of us that kind of avoids it as well to some degree, because you can't escape. It's a very real thing. Don't get me wrong; like you can step in there and you can just kind of be very quiet and not very authentic and not very vulnerable. But like you said, when there are people around you pouring out their hearts, pouring out their demons, pouring out their traumas, pouring out it all, it leads the way and it inspires you in the most beautiful ways to do the same. It allows you to let go and connect, right, with the people around you because that's what they're doing. And so they lead the way. And so, without getting into details, because that was our space and it'll remain our space. What I will say is I was unbelievably inspired and humbled by the men in that circle, by their vulnerability, their honesty, their courage, their willingness and ability to step into the fire and feel scared and feel fearful, but do it anyway, share anyway, to be able to be challenged and match and answer that challenge. I really appreciate Soleil for everything. One thing that really stands out is his ability to in moments where I feel people would just move on and not address a certain topic because you can see that a certain man is really having a hard time with it, he slowed down and focused on that person and made that person the most important person in that moment and was able to ask certain questions and create a space for that person to realize, I think, two of the most important things. Number one, I'm not alone.
Mm.
And number two, whatever I'm feeling right now is okay. And, watching Soleil inhabit that space and then watching the way the men were able to respond to that space was just really fucking cool, dude. Really,
Yeah.
really cool.
And shout
Um,
out to Soleil again for, he created a chat for us to kind of follow up. And
yes.
that experience itself would have been enough, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for him to create a chat with whoever was interested and willing to keep going down that path and keep challenging themselves and putting themselves in challenging situations and opening up and being vulnerable. I mean, he's doing this for 2 weeks and he's, giving us more exercises. And so that's super cool. And, shout out to him.
And it just, again, the intention and the creation continues to carry on, right? So, like, for people listening, like, we didn't make money off this event. We lost money in this event, right? And our plan for the future is to break even. We don't desire to make money off these things that we're creating. We just want to create a beautiful container for people to be a part of. And it'd be nice if we broke even, but it wasn't a big thing for us. Or let's just say it wasn't a big thing for Ramez,
Yeah, Ramesh.
right? Let's be honest. It wasn't a big thing for Ramez. And when I say not a big thing, that doesn't diminish his generosity because money is money. And even though he may have a lot of money, it's still money, right? And so his generosity and love and beauty is honored, and I'm so grateful for it. But again, what is more important than that to him and to us is not abandoning our intention. That's what's most important, right? And so to see people like Soleil and stuff, uh, and Issa, I'll tell you, but we can talk about that after as well, right? Like step forward and look to create new spaces, not expecting anything back, no money, no nothing, just running with their heart and understanding that being of service is enough is really cool. And I really commend them for that. It's something that I really feel into, and it's nice to be surrounded by people that also feel into that and do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I
You know,
mean, yeah, the generosity, vision, and dedication from Ramez and the whole group involved and putting everything on was, yeah, just cool to to receive. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. It
it's got
felt
to feel cool, dude. I mean, like, I've spoken to so many people and, so many people have said the same thing. And that had to be another aspect to it that I really didn't feel into when I was creating it. But just as a person coming, being asked for such a little amount of money and then going there and experiencing all of that insanity would have just been like, dude, are you guys serious? Like,
yeah,
you know, you know? Yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, one thing going back to just a random thought that I kind of wanted to share about the men's circle that I thought was pretty powerful is and it's something that is very relatable to me is how Soleil kind of broke down the nervous system responses and how you react in certain situations. And it's also the first lesson in the men's circle that he shared on the WhatsApp group, but just the ability to hold tension. I mean, I'm a person that um, I think I default to a lot of responses in certain situations where I just say the thing that, this is what you're supposed to say here, or just like, oh, living the dream or whatever, as a response to how you doing. But to like actually be intentional with all of your responses and all your conversations, and if something kind of makes you feel uncomfortable or is asking something more of you to like take time and thought and not just say the thing that you think people want to hear, but actually, take time and respond. And that was one of the cool takeaways I got from the men's circle, and especially my brother. I mean, my brother's shared quite a bit with me, and he is fired up, man. It's so cool that every time I talk to my brother, we talked to him a little bit on the phone last night, and just to hear his energy and how he's approaching his day to day is really sweet.
Yeah, I just want to touch on something as I feel into it. It's like, dude, having mine and Kat's circles get to like meet and spend time together. So like you and your family, Ramez and our little soul pod over there with Diego and Tyler and everyone and their wives and stuff. And then, my people from Tucson, my people from Phoenix, like everyone just together, man, and just getting to meet each other and just really realizing what I've been realizing and experiencing my whole life is just like you guys are all just epic human beings. And to have them all in one place was cool. But I just wanted to say that. That's what I was thinking about when you're talking about your brother. Yeah, man. I mean, it was really cool. A lot of feedback I got was like not a lot of people think about the response of fawning, right? A lot of people think about like, run, hide, stuff like that, but no one really thinks about the nervous system response of fawning, which is kind of like diminishing yourself, right? In order to feel comfortable within the space.
Mhm.
And that was really cool for people to explore, and it's been great to receive people's messages in our men's group chat and see how profound that has been for them, right? And so we had the men's circle, blew us away, dude. And then we walk over to where the women are, where they've just had their women's circle. And that was just like walking into like a garden of fairies, dude, just like flying around, just so light and so beautiful and so great. And obviously Kat was there and Roxanne was there. And then we went into another practice from Carter. So Carter
Mhm.
did another movement practice, and again, amazing.
Wow.
Uh, and then as soon as we were done, the heavens opened up, dude, and just started pouring on us. And yeah, that was a whole nother experience that it seemed like a lot of people had a lot of fun with. So that was cool. Um, Anything you feel like we didn't touch on about that space before we kind of move on to the night?
I mean, you could talk about it forever, but
I know,
I mean, Carter really exposed my wrists in that second movement session. Dude, my wrists are
dude.
wow.
He exposed my wrists on the first session I had with him, and ever since then I've been working on them, and now they're insane. I
Wow.
can, I can't actually haven't tried, but I think I could. I'm getting really good at putting a lot of pressure on them, like in this, like when they're like
Yeah.
this. And so I haven't tried to do a push up yet, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to keep working on them. But dude, they feel night and day from what they were when I first went to him. And so,
Well, yeah, and especially in my new line of work, which is, um, obviously, working on trees and servicing trees, and there's a lot of wrist action, and yeah. So I'm gonna definitely take that and add it into my practice for sure.
cool.
And it was cool seeing, just people getting poured on. I mean, I'm trying to help pick everything up that Roxy brought to set up, and yeah, just getting poured on. It was kind of a fun experience. Everyone's taking videos, and those trees, dude, those trees were epic at the park. Um,
Yes.
the string strangler figs.
Strangler figs.
Yeah.
Correct. Strangler figs. They were cool too, man. They got me connecting back to my childhood, man. Growing up in Australia, those things are everywhere. And so that was a nice little present for me, being able to think about my childhood at the same time. Um, and so then we went back to our Airbnb. And so we got an Airbnb across from each other. I got one and Ramez got one across from each other. And, one of the other intentions for the experience was having people stay together, find Airbnbs together and stay together again, connection. And so we wanted to have a family meal that night. And so we did. We ordered some amazing food, dude, from what was it called? The Naked Farmer in Miami catered our dinner. Everyone came over. We had dinner, and then we had a cacao ceremony led by Isa. Isa was also the lovely lady who led the women's circle, right? And when I say like this was special for so many different reasons. So Isa and Ingrid are just beautiful, beautiful butterflies.
Oh, really quick thought.
Yeah,
Just so wild the names, everybody's names. I feel like, I mean, for the most part, just so many unique names. I mean, you've heard of a lot of them already in this conversation, but like, yeah, the more you get to meet people, it's just like, oh, what? That's a name I've never heard before, And
yeah, yeah. It makes
we,
it easy to remember as well. It's just like, it's just like, all right, cool. You are Isa. I get that. Yeah, cool. You're the only Isa here.
Dan and Ben.
Dan and Ben. And so the cacao was sourced from Ingrid from Mexico, from a beautiful family, small farm that's all they do. So that was super cool. And then Ingrid and Isa have held many cacao ceremonies and just a beautiful medicine women. And then they asked our friend to also help them, right? And it was, I mean, so cool to have the three of them kind of lead that space. Leo's such a beautiful human, man, that I haven't gotten to spend much time with at all. I'd seen him like once before, but in passing kind of thing when we were in Croatia. Um, and so it was really good to spend time with him. And it was really amazing to have him be called into that space and get to share because what he ended up sharing. And dude, watching them make the cacao, I was there. And so, dude, like Leo is there, like praying over every single batch of cacao before he put it in the pot, just giving so much love and so much energy to this. And so that was just divine to watch. And obviously, same thing with Isa and Ingrid. And so then everyone's outside in the back of the Airbnb, such a beautiful crowd of people just having so much fun. And then we just got to surrender to this experience that they put together for us. Right. And Isa opened up, and then Ingrid told that story. Such a beautiful story, man, about where the cacao came from and how special it is, and about the family that grows it, and all of that stuff, man. And that was just so amazing. And then she opened the mic to Leo, and Leo got to express about his feelings and his experience. And I think that brought everyone to tears, including me, man.
Yeah.
I was having so many feels during that time, dude. I couldn't, man. It was nice to get that out, and so thank you, Leo. Obviously Isa and Ingrid, thank you as well. And then Isa just pulls out the guitar and starts just delivering us the most heavenly tunes
Oh
with
man.
with her voice, right?
Mm.
And then out of nowhere, Valerie gets inspired and starts sharing her voice with us, right? So we're here sipping this cacao and just being serenaded by these beautiful women singing. And it was just so cool to see them step into that space. It was so cool to hear Issa's voice, and then it was just as beautiful to hear Valerie share her voice. I just assume it's not something she does all the time in front of people. I just had that feeling, and it was so beautiful that she did. I could be completely wrong, but that's the feeling I had, and I was just so grateful to receive that from her, knowing that she must have felt really at home to do that. And and yeah, man, like I found myself many times throughout the weekend and definitely at the cacao ceremony, just kind of like going third person and just like observing everyone. You know what I mean? Just like really just kind of observing everyone, including myself in the space and just watching them. I took many opportunities where everyone else was eyes closed to remain eyes open and just watch. Still give my attention and energy to what was happening, but just observe everyone. And it just fueled me, dude. It gave me so much. It was really cool. I enjoyed that experience.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of sitting between Ramez and Tyler during that cacao ceremony. And so yeah, I mean, just so many emotions, and you could feel it from both sides. And yeah, it was just like, the weekend is full of highs, and I mean, it's just a different kind of high. I want to like call it a low, but it's one of those emotions, that you don't, as a man, at least for me, I don't always tap into and let myself feel. Um, so yeah, that was a really powerful moment. Just like, embracing Ramez and embracing Tyler at times, and just like really, really feeling into the music, and feeling super grateful for the gifts that, like you said, Leo and Ingrid and Isa provided.
Yeah, man. And I want to touch on what you said for a second, dude. Like something that, I've realized in my life and I hear from many men is just like this thing that they got taught growing up, whether it was through observing other men or whether it was through being actually told, but like this idea that emotions are weakness, crying is weakness, sharing your feelings is weakness, comforting others is weakness, like all these different things, dude. And it's just so like crazy how much of a lie that is. Number one, but number two, it couldn't be any further from the truth. And it's the complete opposite. It's strength. It is so much strength and so much power. Being
Mm.
able to truly be yourself. When tears want to come out, let them come out. When laughter wants to come out, let it come out. Comforting someone else, whether it's another man or a woman, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Hugging a man, dude, like doesn't like none of this stuff is even a thought when you're in those spaces. Not even a thought, dude. It's not even a thing, man. For me anyway. It's not even a thing outside of that for me. But what I observed with other people was, and they actually shared it with me verbally, was like that is something that they crave and they love about this space that we were created was they were comforted by everyone and they were able to give comfort to everyone and feel really, really good about it. And it was great. And so I just wanted to touch on that because you mentioned it because it's so important. And I think it's something that, if I could encourage for other people to do, I would really, really encourage it, you know. Um, something that comes up for me as I'm sharing this is like another intention for this space that kind of melds into creating a safe space for this event was I was sick and tired of going out and watching men prey on women.
Mm-hmm.
Sick of it, dude. Just like the imbalanced masculine needing to satisfy its like energy center one urge. And we've spoken about this a lot, me and you, right? Like, for those of you that are listening have no idea what I'm talking about, your first energy center is your sacral energy center. And it's like your root, right? Your root energy center. And so for men, it's our genitals, and for women, it's their genitals. Um, and so energy center number one is your root energy center. And for a lot of men, including myself at a certain point in my life, it was very imbalanced. I was unable to direct energy away from there without ejaculating. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Pretty much. It was like, all right, there's so much energy there, dude. I need to get rid of it. And my response in my life was always to ejaculate in some way, one way or another. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for a lot of men, that's what I observe. I observe their imbalance within their energy centers. So that's one thing, being able to balance their energy centers and open up other energy centers, which allows you to then direct energy from any energy center to another one, like throughout your body, and be able to take that primal male urge and distribute it in other ways because it's energy. That's what it is. It's energy. And so you can do two things with that energy. You can release it through ejaculation, or you can distribute it and use that energy somewhere else within your body, man, in some other way. Right. And so this is something I learned a while ago, and it's been insane. And me and Dan have spoken about a lot in our lives because we're both men. And something I want to share with men listening, right? Like, if you find yourself unable to control that urge, unable to redistribute that urge, if you find yourself like doing things, thinking things, feeling into things that don't feel very good for you, taking advantage of other people, stuff like that, like I would encourage you to get on top of that as fast as possible because as men, we need to do a much better job at owning our shit and creating a space for the female to thrive, creating a space for females to feel safe so they can do what they do best, which is create, man, which is create life, create spaces, provide for us as men in the most beautiful ways by holding us and hearing us and seeing us. And we do that for them through the same way, right? By realizing their power, but also realizing our power and being able to have balance within ourselves, right? I wanted to share that because that was another really big important thing, dude. It was like another reason as to why we were so very uh, selective with who we invited, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I can't speak for any women, but it seemed that, they were free to do what they wanted. And, at least from my perspective, it seemed that they were very comfortable and, being able to have conversations with women without, them feeling any sort of way or like, backing up or like, ew, like, don't touch me. Like I shared some beautiful embraces with, almost every woman there, I'm sure. And that was cool for me.
Same, dude. Me too. I had some amazing experiences, man. People just leaning all the way in, not even questioning it, man. Just like, yeah, I know that I can trust you. Let's go, right? Um, I spoke to many couples as well that were just like, man, it felt so good to be in a space where I didn't have to think about anything. I didn't have to think about what my wife was doing and who she was doing it with and stuff like that. And I didn't, the wife didn't have to think about the man, and we could just be. Men could be around women, women could be around men, regardless of what was going on. And everyone was safe, happy, beautiful, and beyond that, like held by each other, like taken care of by each other. Not even just like, it wasn't something where it's just like, oh yeah, they're gonna be safe around each other. It's like, no, like they were really held and seen and protected from one another. It's just like by one another, and that was just so cool to hear and receive. And so then that night after the cacao ceremony, we went straight to the warehouse. And so for the second night, the event, we bought out a warehouse. So we had the whole warehouse to ourselves, and the warehouse was sick, dude. How cool is it, man?
It was awesome.
It was awesome, bro. There's like 4 rooms. First room, like lounge room. Second room, dance room. Third room, kind of like purgatory in between outside and the dance room. And then you had it outside, right? And so, Brian Sid, man. Brian Sid.
Crushed it.
What can you say about this guy? So every time it's a life changing experience for me receiving Brian Sid's music and hearing a set from him and dancing to his music. And so one thing I wanted to do was I wanted to have him talk to the crowd before he started playing and make that connection, right?
Mm.
Because like, how often have you had that experience? Never, never.
Right.
And so I was like, all right, cool, sweet. So he talked to them and, said a little bit about himself, and off he goes, man, starts playing, and off we go, just having the time of our lives, right? And so it started at 11 o'clock at night and it finished at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Um, and everyone was there, including Kat, including Diego's wife, Mel, including Ramez's wife, Anissa. And so that told me a lot as well, dude. I was just
Yeah.
like, wow, man, here you are at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then Anissa and Mel ended up going out after that, right? And I sound like, dude, what is going
It's-
on, man? Let's go. Let's go.
We
Let's
haven't talked
go.
at all about Diego and Ramez's bromance kind of thing yet, but I don't know if you.
Tell me more.
I mean,
What do you want to talk about?
I remember the moment. Sorry, when I first brought this up was the whatever acro yoga pose they did on the beach where everybody was in a circle and then they were like doing the acro yoga. Oh my god, that was special.
Okay. So it's like every time it's special for me, but I've been around these dudes for a while now. And so it's like for me,
It's just another
it's another episode, dude. It's another beautiful
So
episode.
they always do that pose. That same.
No, 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 no.
Oh,
It's always something crazy.
okay. So they like probably plan it out
I
then.
have no idea. I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Dude, it was too good to be just random. That
I
was
don't know,
impressive.
man. I've seen some of the most random shit. We should ask them, but I'm telling you, I've seen some of the most random shit from them over the years, and there's no way they planned it. Um, Normally it's Diego doing something insane, and then Ramez just like one up in it by like just jumping on top of him or doing something crazy. But dude, like their relationship has changed my life in some of the most beautiful ways. I mean, their relationship and their friendship with me is the reason that I love dancing so much now. And I've realized how important dancing is to me. I mean, there's so many things I could continue to talk about to them, but I mean, their friendship and their brotherhood is really special. And then it's been amazing to continue to like expand that, into our soul pod. And then obviously, there is no difference to what we have to what they have and stuff like that. But it's their playfulness, dude, and their ability to play with the ego,
Mm.
right? From a very like aware place and have fun with it, man, and like bring in past versions of themselves that would do things in like a non-serving way, but make fun of it and have fun with it now, right? Like that's what I love and I really enjoy seeing, dude. Um, yeah. What else did you want to talk about when it comes to them?
I mean the photo the photo I got of Diego just on Ramez's tit.
Dude.
That was special.
It's fucking gold, man. It's fucking gold, dude. It's like watching theater sometimes, right? Like you're just
Yeah.
watching this theater, aka comedic act,
Mm.
right? And just like sometimes you can't even breathe, dude. You're laughing so hard, right? But that's the playfulness, man.
Mm.
The playfulness is so cool and so beautiful, and it invites other people to play and connect to the kid within themselves and just fucking have fun, dude. Stop taking shit so seriously, man. Let's go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's always beautiful and something I love about Diego specifically, his ability to just be in a serious situation and just say the most outlandish shit and have everyone just kind of crack up and connect back to the like the reality, which is although there is an important aspect of this, is also not important at all, kind of thing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like to be able to hold both of those things in the one place. I love that about him, man, so much. Um, and so we have a beautiful night. Brian Sid takes us to the jungle. Dude, every time, like during his set, at some point, I feel like I'm in the jungle, you know, and I'm just surrounded by animals and I'm just an
Yeah.
animal myself and just, yeah, going crazy. And then I look over and I see your brother just marching in the spot to fucking just, oh man, 1,000 yard stare. I'm like, let's go. And so that was a beautiful night. So many amazing connections. I'm sure you had the same thing, dude. I sat with so many people. I laughed with so many people. I gave it my all, dude. I gave it my all, bro. If that was a soccer game, there was nothing left for me to put onto the pitch, dude. I was done. you know? And just so grateful, so grateful to have that space again with
Mhm.
Cat. It just made it so much more special for me, to be honest with you. And so that was great.
Yeah, and then me and the group of my immediate circle, my brother, sister, Roxy, as if Remez wasn't already generous enough, invited a big group of us to go to space from 5 to 9 a.m. or whatever it was, and put majority of paid for the majority of the table himself, and so that was an added bonus for us. And man, it was. I mean, I've never stayed out that late, and then like not kind of completely regretted it, later on. But that time it was super special, and I do it again and again.
I'm glad to hear that, dude. And I'm so happy you guys had that experience. Ramez's generosity knows no bounds. And, at the heart of it, dude, he wants to play and he wants people to play with.
Mm.
I think that goes for all of us. And so I'm so glad you guys had that experience, dude. I really am. And so Brian Sid finishes playing a masterpiece of a set. Literally, like everyone was just like, what the fuck just happened, man? Like many people had not heard him before. They've heard us talk about him. And so again, another kind of full circle moment, having everyone get to experience Brian Sid and his set was
Mm.
insane. And so then again, as soon as the music's done, bring everyone in, big hug, 3 breaths, 3 hums, off we go. And then off you go. You have your experience. I go back, hang out, chill with Kat and some friends, and wind down. For me, I had that experience. I've been to space many times and stuff like that, and where I am in my experience now in my life is like, after having that, like my cup was just overflowing so full, and all I wanted to do was continue to ride that frequency, ride that
Mhm.
wave. Um, and so went back, and another focus of mine was to be with Kat. And so
Yeah.
go back home, hang out with Kat, do our thing, go to sleep, wake up, and then I see you in the morning, dude. Haven't slept, and you got to connect with you. That was
Uh,
beautiful. And then we stayed an extra day because I think that was a great choice.
yeah.
We all stayed an extra day, right? And wind down and integrated. And I had so many beautiful moments in that day, dude. Oh my God. From seeing some of my friends, again, I don't want to say all the names, it was their experience, but seeing my friends together, wife and husband, just having such special moments together because we'd spoken about that previously together. And so seeing that happen was just, man, so joyful and just filled my heart. And to obviously spend time with Kat was so great for me. And just a nice day to wind down. It was great. Went for dinner that night and then head out the next day. And so, we get back home. I'm in Colorado right now, working as a river rafting guide. And so I come back to Colorado. And then all that's happening, because we have a community chat on our phones on WhatsApp. And so all that's happening is just insane message of gratitude and appreciation and sharing experience after message, just everyone one by one, just, expressing to everyone, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it's still happening right now. It's still happening right now. And what day is it?
Okay,
It is Friday. It is Friday today. And the event finished on Monday, right?
Monday.
Yeah, correct. Monday morning. And so it's still going every day. And dude, I use the word overwhelming. And I use that word, I just want to explain to people how I use that word. It's not like, oh, it's too much, it's too much. Overwhelming when I use that word in like in this context, it's just like it's like overflowing, dude. It's just like, oh my God, bro. Like, wow, what is happening? You know, like it's just so much love, so much gratitude, so much everything. I'm just like, wow. And it is, dude. And it's done a lot for me in regards to this, and the men's retreat did a lot for me in regards to like I already trusted myself. I already trusted my heart. I already trusted like my intention and where I'm coming from. And this is just kind of like a pat on the back, from the universe just saying, keep going, Ben. Keep going, dude. Keep doing your thing, man. Um, not from a place of like, oh, look how cool I am. Look what I did. But from a place of like, man, like what is serving what is serving me, Ben, is obviously being of service to others as well. So keep serving yourself, Ben. Like keep feeding your heart what your heart desires, because there are other people out there that eat the same food. You know what I mean? There are other people's hearts out there that want the same sustenance, dude. So keep going, man. And and I'm so excited. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I hadn't yet figured out what I wanted to fit in the rest of my year, because I have river rafting guiding, I have hunt guiding, and then I have months off. And now I know exactly what I want to do. I want to create spaces. I want to create events. I want to continue with retreats. I want to do men's retreats. I want to do couples retreats. And I want to create more events like what we just had. And I want to share this, and I'll kind of like leave it here and see what else comes up for you and for me. What I've realized in my life is I desire to be of service. When when my heart is full, when I am taken care of, when I'm good, all I want to do is give. All I want to do is give, dude. And what I've realized is there are infinite ways to do that. And this space that we just spent this whole episode on, what I see this as is not only a space that is healing and energizing and transformative for the people involved, but I see it as ripples that go out into the world in so many different aspects. One aspect is this. There was this study that they did where they pretty much like had a group of Tibetan monks praying on one side of the world for a specific group of people on the other side of the world, right? And they measured like what was happening. Don't worry about the actual study. Just think of that concept. Whoever's listening right now, just think of that concept. One people in one space, elevating their energy with attention, with heart centeredness, with focus, and affecting the field or a different physical space somewhere completely different. I see what we created as that. That's one aspect of it. I see us connecting our hearts, vibrating at the same frequency, and that energy is just being pushed out like the fucking sun pushes out light, right? That's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is inevitable for us. Let's just say when we come together as individual people, we come to that event and we create the ocean, and then we just go back as waves and ripples into our world and our physical space and our life, and we send out those ripples. We take back with us what we've received in that space from that weekend in Miami, and we go back to the world and we ripple it out, dude. And so I see it as that as well. And both of those things I think are really important in this world, and something that I want to continue to give attention to and intention to and create space for. And so that fucking pumps me up. I'm really grateful for myself. I'm really grateful for Ramez and Steven and the people that created that with me, and Isa and Carter and all of them. Uh, and I'm really grateful to have followed my heart and seen what it can create, because now it's on, baby. It's on, man, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm really grateful to all you guys as well. It was yeah, unforgettable for sure. Hopefully the first of many, which I mean, not a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, very quickly, I already received a message from someone who's like, "Hey, I have a desire to create this space again. Let's do it in Mexico. Let's do it here. All right, let's add this." Like, and so it's got a life of its own. And what I'll leave people with is this: what is the most important thing that I am focusing on? Not abandoning our intention. I will never abandon the intention. I see this a lot with people. I've seen this in myself. You create something from such a pure intention, and then it gains a lot of traction and gains a lot of attention. And now there's the opportunity for money. You can make money now, dude. Oh my God. And you can do this and you can do that. And it's like nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with money and stuff like that. That's not what I want from this space, but there's other spaces that I desire to collect money from, but not this one. But ultimately, regardless of that, can you continue to come back to your intention? What created that in the first place, and have faith that that will continue to lead the way. You don't need to focus on all the fucking shiny lights, man. Come back to the heart and keep going from there. That's my focus. That's where I'm going to continue to come back from, come back to and express from. So, but yeah, it's nice to receive so much excitement from other people. Um, but I'm also a firm believer. I'm also a firm experiencer in. I like that.
Mhm.
Experiencer in the fact that it's like, take these moments, come back, integrate them. Let's not just go from insane event to insane event to insane event. You know what I mean? Like let's
Yeah,
bring it back, ground it in our life, integrate it into our life, embody it, and then go again.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I just had a memory of when we were at in the Dominican for my wedding, for Roxy and I's wedding, and you were working on the guiding principles. I don't know if we mentioned those actually in this podcast, but just how much intention you put into the guiding principles. I think there's like 10 guiding principles. Um, and yeah, I mean, I didn't necessarily put too much thought into it then, but that definitely planted a seed when you were kind of reading them to me, and I was like, fuck, I gotta be there, man. I gotta be there.
do we want to finish off with the guiding principles?
That seems like a good thing to end on.
Seems like a good thing to end on, dude. Let's do this. Let me bring them up. And thank you, dude. Thank you for reminding me of those. All right. So talking about the container, right? So we spoke about a container and we said how important the container was. And so in order to create a container, there needs to be walls to the container. And so these are the walls. These are the principles that we put together. It's a bit blurry, so bear with me. Principle number one: every person here has been chosen with care, not for who they know, but for who they are. Self aware, loving, giving, and here to serve. Principle number two. I'll say the heading. Principle number two: status has no seat here. There is no room for status, showing off, or self-centeredness here. No one is more important than anyone else. The quiet person in the corner and the one leading the ceremony are equal. Humility is the entry point. Principle number three: safety is non-negotiable. Consent is not a formality here. It is a foundation. Every person, especially women, has the right to exist in this space without being pursued, pressured, or made to feel unsafe. Physical, emotional, and energetic boundaries are honored without question. Clear minds, open hearts. Number four: any substance that makes you aggressive, disconnected, or unsafe has no place here. Additionally, alcohol is discouraged. We don't tell you what to put in your body. We ask you to be honest about why. Whatever you choose to bring into your body, bring it with reverence, responsibility, and full respect for yourself and the people around you. Your experience is yours, but your behavior affects the community. Number five: seen, heard, held. One of the deepest human needs is to feel truly seen and heard. We create that for each other through eye contact, presence, listening, and genuine curiosity about one another's inner world and outer world. Number six: come to give, not to get. The energy of this community flows from generosity. We show up to offer our gifts, our presence, our attention, not to sell, perform, or take. What you bring to the circle is what the circle becomes. Dude, these are so fucking good. I'm so pumped that I created these things. They're insane. Number seven, the music is medicine. We don't choose DJs for clout. We choose artists whose music was created with intention to open hearts, raise vibrations, and move the soul. The dance floor is a ceremony. Treat it as one. Three more. Number eight, honor the offering. When a brother or sister steps forward to offer something of themselves, their music, their words, their healing, their art, show up. We don't we don't drift to the sidelines. Okay. We show up. We don't drift to the sidelines. We receive their offering with open hearts and full presence. A gift only becomes complete when it is truly received. That one was really important. I mean, they're all important to me, but that one was, I really enjoyed that one, man. And it was really cool to see that actually happen in that space, dude. It was really cool.
Mhm.
Last two. Number nine. This community is a living thing. Sacred Vibrations is not an event. It is an ongoing, breathing community of people committed to growing together, supporting one another, and learning to serve the world beyond these walls. Number 10, we are the ripple. Nice. What happens here doesn't stay here. It is meant to spread. Every member of this community is a carrier of the energy, the love, and the lessons gathered at these events. We go back into the world as lights and we shine. Thank you, man, for bringing that up and reminding me to talk
Yeah,
about those because
thank you
they're
for creating
just,
them.
dude, it was fun, man. That's another thing, dude. I've had so much fun creating these spaces and just going into my heart and pulling all these things out of there. Like, this is what I would want, and this is what I would want, and this is what I would want, to be like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
So this was so much fun, dude. Thank you again, bro, for creating this space with me. And it was so nice that we were both at this event to be able to talk about it and share it with people. Um, and yeah, man, excited to excited to talk to you again soon.
agreed.
All
Thanks.
right.
Love you, man.
Love you, bro. Bye.